here again. And it's good that we're going back to the grocery store. So we're going to learn more about the supermarket and going to the supermarket. Now, who can remember last week? What were some of the words we learned last week? Do you remember?
Store clerk.
Yes, store clerk. And what do we push? What's
Shopping
this?
cart.
Yes, a shopping cart. Like
Aisle.
aisle, good. Very good. And what about a small shopping cart that we hold? What was that?
Oh,
A small one that we
reusable
hold.
bag.
Like, yes, a basket.
Reusable
Good.
bag.
Yes. And last one. Where do we pay? Where do we pay for
Checkout.
our... Yes, the checkout. Woo, class. Great job. All right. Well, I think you are ready for some new words today. So let's get started. Today, we will learn different sections of the supermarket. So supermarkets have items or things in different places so that people know where to find everything they want. So let's study some of the places we can go in the supermarket. Okay. All right. So these are the major sections of the supermarket, and they each have a certain type of groceries. So number one, we see produce.
Produce.
Yes. So when we see that word produce, we can start, since it's a new word for us, we can learn that it sounds, here we go. If I can do it. Okay. So produce. So we have this
Produce.
Yes, produce. Okay. All right. Now, if we look at the picture, what do we think produce is? What is produce? What is in that picture? What do you see? What is produce, do you think? What's that?
Eggplant.
Yeah, there's an eggplant. But what are those? Are those plants? Kind of, but they're plants we eat. What do we call those? Vegetables. Yeah, vegetables. All right, so fruits and vegetables, produce. Now, another section is dairy. Dairy. Yes, dairy. So when we have dairy, we can see that. All right, dairy. So we have our D, air, E, dairy.
Dairy.
Dairy. Good. Okay, so now look at our picture. What do we think dairy is?
Dairy.
Milk. Yes, milk. Then we have our meat section. Meat. Yes, meat. Okay, then another big section of the grocery store is the frozen section. The frozen. Yes, frozen. So let's do that word together. Frozen. Okay, so we have frozen. Frozen. Okay, frozen. Frozen. Okay, so those are things that are very cold. That we keep very cold. Okay, and the last section are all of the other things. And everything else goes in the aisles. So those aisles that we learned about, that's where everything else goes. So are you ready? Let's learn some more about each section. Okay, here we go. So first, we have the produce section. The produce. Produce. Yeah. Okay. Everyone, let's try one more time. Produce. Okay. So here we find the fresh vegetables and fruits. Fresh vegetables and fruits. So see, here we have vegetables like carrots, onions, broccoli, and look, cucumber. Yes, so these are some examples of vegetables. Examples. Now, we also have fruits in the produce section. In the produce section, we also have fruits. So let's look at some fruits like apples, banana. Yeah, bananas. Yes. Ooh, pineapple. And then blueberries. Yeah, blueberries. Okay, so these are examples. So, what do we call this section? The produce section. Produce. All right. Good job. Produce. Okay. So now, look, and this is what it looks like. So at most supermarkets, this is what a produce section looks like with all of the fruits and vegetables. All right. Now, it's time to go to the dairy section. Okay. So ready? The dairy section. Yeah, dairy. Dairy. Okay. All right. Almost. One more time. Dairy. Okay. So the dairy section is all about milk and things made from milk. But you'll see one exception. So we have milk, cheese, yes. What about butter? Butter. Oh, this yogurt. And now there is one item that is not made from milk on our list, but it is usually in the dairy section. And those are
Eggs.
eggs. So even though eggs are not dairy, they are usually in or near the dairy section. So in the United States, it is common to keep the eggs cold in the refrigerator, to keep them cold. But here in Mexico, where I live, the eggs are not in the refrigerator. They don't keep the eggs cold. They do not keep the eggs cold. So that is something common in the United States, to have cold eggs. Okay? All right. And so this is a dairy section. What the dairy section usually looks like. All of the milk and yogurt. Yeah, lots of milk. Okay, so now next, let's go to the meat section. The meats. Okay, so the meat section, what do we find? Meat. We find meat in the meat section. Meat. So we have beef. Beef. There's chicken. Yeah, chicken. All right. Some bacon. Bacon. Oh, sausage. Yeah, sausage. Ooh, turkey. Turkey. And lamb. Yeah, lamb. So lots of meat in the meat section. So here's what it looks like in the supermarket, where all of the meat. Yeah. So this is the meat section at the supermarket. Okay. So now we've got the frozen section. Okay. So the frozen section. All right. Frozen. Okay. So the frozen section is for things we keep very cold. So below 0 degrees Celsius. Below 0 degrees Celsius. So that is frozen. Frozen food. And so we have things like ice cream. Yeah, ice cream. And then we have frozen dinners. Yes, frozen dinners. All right, frozen dinners. And also, do you remember where did we keep the fruits and vegetables? Where were the fruits and vegetables? Where were they? What section? The fruits and vegetables. The produce section. The produce section. But sometimes we have frozen vegetables or frozen fruits. So sometimes we can find fruits and vegetables in the frozen section. Frozen. Yeah, frozen. Okay. So look, this is what the frozen section at the store looks like. So at the supermarket, these are where all the frozen foods are. All of the ones that are kept very cold. Okay, and now last class, we have the aisles. The aisles. So the aisles is where everything else is in the aisles. So many of the things you may want at the store are in the aisles, like canned goods, canned goods, canned goods, mhm, and things like rice, rice, or sugar, mhm, or sauces. Yeah, sauces. All right, and snacks. Snacks. Remember, snacks. Snacks. Yes, you remember snacks. Yeah. Ah. Do you see? Ah. Snack. There you go. Snacks. All right. Good job, class. Okay. So now we've seen the different sections of the store. So, and these are aisles. So all of the aisles of the store, there they are. Okay. So now that we've practiced each section of the store, I think it's time to sort our groceries. So let me share my screen. Okay, let's see. Wow, now we have a lot of things to sort. So I will pick an item and you tell me where it goes. Produce, dairy, meats, frozen, or in the aisles. Okay? Let's try chicken. Everybody? Chicken.
Cheese.
And where does it go? Meat. All right. Okay. What about blueberries? Okay. Where does it go? Produce. Produce. Good. Okay. Now let's see. What about... Oh, okay. What about packaged vegetables? Packaged vegetables. Yes. Frozen. It's in the frozen section. Yes. Okay. What about butter? Butter.
Dairy.
Dairy. Okay. Let's see. What about snacks? Snack. Where do those go? Yes, the aisles. Okay. What about tomatoes?
Produce.
Where do they go?
Produce.
Produce. Yeah, produce. All right. Now, this is a trick one. What about seasonings? Seasonings. Where do you think seasonings? Can you say that? Seasonings. Hmm. Seasonings. Where do you think? It's not produce. No. It's not dairy. Mm-mm. Is it a meat?
Yes.
No.
No.
So, where do we think?
The aisles.
The aisle. Yes, the aisles. All right, good job. Now, what about pork? Pork.
Meats.
Meats. Yes, meats. Okay. And what about bread? Bread. Bread. Where would it go? Is bread a meat? No. Is bread frozen? Is it cold? No. So where would it go? The aisles. It goes in the aisles. Yes, the aisles. Okay. What about yogurt? Yogurt. Yogurt. Where does yogurt go? Dairy. Yes, dairy. Okay. And what about an onion? An onion. Onion. Can you say that word? Onion.
Onion.
Onion. Yeah. Onion. And it goes in produce. Okay, let's see. What about ice cream?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Where does it go? Frozen. Oh, but I heard someone said dairy, and ice cream is a dairy product, but it has to be very cold, so we keep it in the frozen section. Yeah, because it's very cold. Okay, what about watermelons? Where does the watermelon go? Produce. And how about sauces? Sauces. Sauces. Yes, the aisles. Yes, the aisles. Now, what about if we have packaged dinners? Packaged dinners. Packaged dinners. Ah, yes, frozen. Very good. And now our bacon. Bacon. Where does bacon go? Bacon. The meats, with the meats. Okay. And how about cereal? Cereal. Where does it go? Oh, frozen. Is cereal very cold?
aisle.
No.
The
Yes.
aisle.
The aisles. Good. The aisles. Okay. What about eggs? Where do the eggs go? Mm. Are they frozen? Oh, good. They go into the dairy. All right. Now, what about the broccoli? Broccoli.
Broccoli.
Where does it go? Produce. Yes. And what about cheese?
Dairy.
Dairy. Yes. We're almost there. Oh, what about canned goods? Canned goods. Canned goods.
The aisles.
The aisles. Yes. And now, how about beef? Where does the beef go?
Meat.
Meats. All right. Okay. And what about milk? Milk. Dairy. All right. And now, packaged fruits. Packaged fruits. Where do they go? Where do they go? Look at all where are our other packaged items? Packaged vegetables, packaged dinners, packaged fruits, frozen. Everyone? Frozen. Okay. And where do the oranges go? Produce. And last one, where does the sour cream go? Ooh, sour cream. Sour cream. Oh, yes, this one's new. Sour cream. It's a dairy product. Yeah, so it goes with dairy. Yes. Woo-hoo. All right, class. Great job. So, in our next class, we will practice making a list. So, we learned a lot of items today, a lot of food items today. So next, or 2 weeks from now, we will learn and make lists and try to find where they are in the grocery store, in the supermarket. Okay? So until next time, I will see you in 2 weeks. All right?
See you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Have